Morning, church. Obviously, everything changes now with the president's announcements the other night. There are all sorts of restrictions on meetings, and particularly meetings for churches are just one of the things that will stop. And so this is going to be a fascinating season. It's going to mean some practical changes for us in a bunch of ways. I want to remind you that church does not stop being church. And so the reality of being a worshiping community, of being just connected to others around us, of making disciples, and of being on mission doesn't change. It's certainly going to change form, though, and that's just a practical reality all of us are going to have to deal with. I want to remind you, please, not to panic. The shops will still have food on the shelves. There will still be toilet paper. Let's approach this with the kind of calmness and peace that Jesus speaks about, the peace that passes all human understanding. And let's live in the season in a way that's, I guess, honoring of God and reflective of a people who worship an all-powerful God. Just a couple of practical things that will change over the immediate future. So we will no longer be having Sunday services. We will broadcast a video on YouTube and on Facebook at 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings. We would encourage you to gather in your homes with your family and some friends. Great opportunity to invite people around and to still remain in community and life groups. Perhaps your life group wants to meet on a Sunday morning. We understand that for some of you are more anxious than others, and for some there are some practicalities that would make that really difficult, and so we don't want to put too much pressure on you to do that, but it is important that we remain the church connected to others around us, holding us accountable and fellowshipping and worshiping together. We'll put out material each week that will help you do that. In particular, we'd ask that you each week make sure that you have some grape juice and some bread that you and your group or you and your family can break bread together. We want to continue to worship God, and we see this as a season that gives us some opportunity to shift some things, perhaps put some new rhythms into our lives, and maybe challenges you to get out of your comfort zone a bit. I just think to see fathers breaking bread with their families and sharing Holy Communion would be a great opportunity to broaden our faith and to really be disciples and make disciples of the coming up generation. So we will put out material each week. There will be a video each week just outlining some of the changes and some of the things that are happening. And then at 10 a.m. each Sunday, we will broadcast out on Facebook and on YouTube. Those links will all be off the website. All that material will be available off the website and off our Facebook. We obviously have remaining expenses. We have staff to pay, and we have missionaries that we support. So we really want to encourage you all to continue your giving. A reasonable amount of money comes in each Sunday via SnapScan and via just offerings in the baskets each week. We want to challenge you to just change your way of giving. Giving with SnapScan is fine once you've already given. SnapScan obviously retains those details, and you can keep making those payments, but it's a great opportunity just to become more regular in your giving. And we would encourage you to go to the website. Our bank details are there, and to set up a regular EFT each month. We really want to keep honoring God with that form of worship, and not being able to gather in a big gathering on a Sunday. I think it's going to change that somewhat, and we have expenses that need to be paid, and I would ask you to join us in that. Finally, we realize that most of us have at least enough money stored up that we can go for a while without working or without being able to make the normal income we would, but for many in our community, that's not a reality. And so we would ask, especially in the season, that you are really conscious and intentional about how you treat the vulnerable and the poor and those in low income. Most of us in the office are now saying to our staff that work in our homes, just stay at home, and we will continue to pay you. We just realize the risks of traveling in packed public transport as a real risk for them, and I want you to really be conscious about this. I think the panic buying and all of those things, they affect the poor first. So please, folks, let's just live up to the call that God has put on our lives and be very, very conscious of those who have less than us. Again, in the season, I want to remind you that God is going to work all things for good. What that looks like, we wait to see. It doesn't mean things are going to be easy. It doesn't mean that things are miraculously going to get solved. But whatever happens, God will work it all for good for those who love Him and are called according to His purposes. And we ask that you would live on in that hope in this awkward and difficult season for us. Be a people of prayer and be the people God is calling you to be. Have a great week, and we will see you on the feed on Sunday.